So a couple weeks ago, I was in New York and had the unbelievable opportunity to have a conversation with Modern Day James. Now this guy, if you don't know, is a YouTube legend. He's been teaching on YouTube for almost 8 years, and he was the first person to ever introduce me to Kim Jung-gi. Probably introduced you to Kim Jung-gi too, because that was how his channel really took off in the first place, and now he's amassed over 500,000 subscribers with his fantastic tutorials. This guy has documented his self-taught artist journey all the way from student to professional, and he's shown you how to do it. If you have any questions about fundamentals or what to study, his channel is chock full of fantastic resources that you probably already have seen if you're into this, anything I teach on this channel, because I've mentioned him a lot. Now, what you're about to see is my first attempt ever at a podcast. It's pretty casual, but we get into a lot of interesting topics about best practices for self-taught artists, maintaining a consistent routine, do's and don'ts of the industry, and anything else related to making it as a self-taught artist. Modern Day James has all sorts of Gumroad classes on anatomy, perspective, storyboarding, and anything that you want to pursue. All of his links and resources will be in the description. Go check them out. He's an amazing teacher, as you'll find in this conversation. Let's get into it.
I love that I've got this kettlebell just hanging. This is... Don't read into it.
All right, are you recording?
Always.
There we go.
Hey everybody, today we got Modern Day James here. If you don't know who he is, then, cut. Okay, hey everybody, we got Modern Day James here. Artist, musician, animator, and creator with 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you announcing to everyone, if you are watching this channel, you probably already know who he is. But if you don't, your art journey is about to get a lot easier.
Let's go.
All right, so today we're gonna work out, rock climb, and ask him some questions about industry, career, and how to learn a lot as a self-taught artist. So yeah, let's.
And how to hang kettlebells.
And how to hang kettlebells with a lot of demure.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cool.
So,
all right, I'm going to start with a set, and then we'll get into. I'm so short. I need something to get up here, though.
Should we do a weight? Is that?
Some people were using this, which seems dangerous.
Okay.
And you know what? What's life without a little bit of danger?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and that worked
This is okay. Okay.
Oh, that's easy.
So just so you guys know, if I don't do as many sets as that, it's because, I'm trying to go easy today. It's my rest day, but.
Oh. Cool.
Okay, shoot. All right, my turn.
I'll do some dips. You're taller than me, so you'll be fine.
I'll do weighted. Then I'll do weighted.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I really like the idea of doing an art YouTube video at the rock climbing gym.
Oh yeah.
Not even rock climbing, just like lifting weights.
Yeah, just not using the rock climbing at all. So,
dude, but the form is beautiful.
So speaking of form,
yes.
How much has the philosophy of working out overlapped with the philosophy of drawing?
I think all those things are very similar. Like any sort of thing that you put practice into, you kind of like learn a little bit about the fundamentals. Mm-hmm. It's a lot about consistency. Mm-hmm. I think with working out, it's a little bit like, it's a little dumber. Like if you just lift heavy shit, it's like,
less thinking.
Yeah, there's a little less thinking, but I think like it's all the same thing. I think there's a lot more overlaps with like music and art. I've noticed so many similarities, but like just taking, whatever it is you're interested in and just like breaking it down to small pieces and like gradually going step by step, not pushing yourself too far, not getting like way too out of your comfort zone too quickly. So I think that's something, because like with working out, if you push too far out of your comfort zone, there's a physical ramification to it. Versus with drawing, you want to gradually, progressively overload, like in working out, but like if you go way too far, you'll burn out really quickly. A lot of students, I'll notice, they'll like try to do something. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to make my own IP. I've never drawn a figure before. Yeah. And it's like, okay, how about we just like draw a person first? Yeah. Then when we can draw a person, then we can like work on designing characters and like gradually build that skill up rather than just like jumping full force in your first month or something.
Now, so you've seen students go, and this is so common in early students too, where everyone wants to start their own I want to do an animation. I want to do a whole show. And then you realize you're thinking way too far ahead.
I did that.
Yeah, I think everyone starting out has done that. Have you noticed, is it better to be that or the alternative, which is sticking too much to the fundamentals without ever pushing yourself to try new things and being like, well, I got to get the fundamentals down?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that problem too?
Yeah, that's a big problem. I think it's just a bit of both. Like, as long as you keep that intro goal in mind or kind of work both those things out. Like, now I've kind of been teaching, speaking of overlaps with like working out and stuff, I kind of break it down where I'll have students do exercises that are specifically geared towards just training your imagination without the drawings looking better. So it's a lot of like scribbling, a lot of just like exploring and seeing what can you get on the page without like really thinking, or just like you're just sort of working on channeling your mind onto the page. And then I split that up with like making the drawings more aesthetically pleasing, and then split that up with form perspective, which is all like science-based, I guess, sort of. So.
Yeah, I've noticed this. There's a split in art where you have form and perspective, all this technical stuff that you have to get good at. But personally, I've struggled with also the design aspect where just because I can draw something doesn't mean I can make it compositionally nice or...
Yes.
And how have you sort of dealt with both of those things? Do you practice them separately or?
I think it's a bit of both. So it's like, I always go back to music where it's like, you can learn scales, you can read sheet music and play a song, but that doesn't make you a good songwriter. So for me, getting better at the aesthetics was like a little bit of what I said, where it's like practicing, just getting your mind on the paper, and then also just like referring to things that you like. I always go back to 90s anime and look at the style, see what choices they're making. And then once you sort of build that vocabulary, then it's like, okay, now how do I put my like heart and feelings in this? I'm not there yet. I'm still working on that, I feel like. Or, I'm like gradually building that gap. But like the goal I want to get to eventually is like, how do I draw something or animate something that makes you cry? Or like, how do I like make you laugh or whatever that is?
And with that stuff, it's kind of, there's no, unlike perspective where there's a formula and a right and wrong, that design stuff where the emotion is innately, there's no formula, right? So you have to just build that, the sense, the design from everybody else.
And that's why people get stuck a lot, is people want certainty, especially when you're learning, but art is just inherently uncertain. It's like, if I say, what's the correct song to listen to? There's no answer to that. It's like, you just have preferences, something speaks to you emotionally, something doesn't, and you have to just sort of go towards that.
And I think that's probably like one of, at least in my experience, one of the hardest parts of navigating a career in the arts is that unlike, so for people who don't know, James was a medical student for 6 years before transitioning to art, and he's talking about music a lot because before that he was in a pretty successful band.
Death metal band,
death metal band. He's had a pretty diverse career before art, and part of the reason I want to talk to you is because I feel like you demystify a lot of the idea of an art career, because you kind of prove that it doesn't take your entire life since childhood, although you drew when you're a kid still, but it shows that you started not late, but some people think they have to start at like 12 and know they want to draw before, right?
No, and I think there's a lot of value in like having other life experiences that lead towards that. Like even the science and medicine stuff kind of finds its way back in there in terms of, I don't know, just feel like it fills out my worldview and it gives the art more of a perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry.
I was going to say, now I'm ready to go do
a set. Let's do another set.
Sorry, by all means. No, you go for it. Let's see how this 60-pounder works. All right.
Did you up the weight?
I did.
Holy.
It's like nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Like nothing. It's so much like nothing that I don't even use them because it's basically the same thing.
It's like nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
So
I'm going to sit while you...
All right. Okay, so I found that I have to work out because my spine's not great from sitting all day.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not, you don't have that problem, eh?
I don't think so. I mean, I usually don't have too many back issues. I do a lot of lower back workouts that kind of help, like deadlifts and stuff help.
Was that always, like, since you started, when did you start drawing, like, heavily?
10 years ago now.
10 years ago now. And were you always active, or?
I was
during that
running
time?
during that. I wasn't like lifting very much, but I like, so undergrad, I was lifting all the time with my brother, lifting, eating, drinking, just, you know, the great
Just all the
combination, just chugging
consumptions.
beers and then going to the gym. It's a great
Yeah,
combination. Looking like a real Ginzone out in Long Island. Then I was like, wow, I have a beer belly and my face is fat. I've been like doing too much and I'm working out. So I'm like just a big chunk. So then I started running. But I think I had the residual like musculature in the lower back. So it never really was like an issue for me. I don't have good posture though. I don't know why that's not an issue.
I guess, yeah, if you have that base of just good health already. Yeah.
I try to think about it now though when I'm sitting and working, although occasionally shrimp posture comes out. Just like anytime you're just at the drawing board all day, it's like, that's going to sort of come about.
So talk to me about your routine. What's your now? I mean, I'm sure it was in the early, let's say, so you started out first teaching, and when you were a student, is that when you started your YouTube channel? When you're still reaching professional work? Yeah,
so like I started the channel maybe like 2 years into drawing pretty consistently. And I was trying to do concept art, and I was like, hey, you know what? I realized I need to review a lot of these fundamentals. So let me like give myself a little project to sort of like have a little end goal for each of those things. So whatever topic it was, I'd kind of like research. It would give me an excuse to practice it a bunch. And back before I started the band, I had been making YouTube videos like since 2006. So
really?
I was making guitar videos. Wow. So I always liked making YouTube videos, and I had like a modicum of success with those YouTube videos. Yeah. I had 450 subscribers. Hey. Couple like 40,000 views.
That's more than we're allowed in this gym. So.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? YouTube worked really good.
Yeah.
And because it was a band, that translated to people physically showing up to shows.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw the power in YouTube pretty early on.
And that's early. Yeah, that's what, 2006 you said?
That's the year it came out.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some videos. I'll find them and send them to you. Yeah. You can sort of pop them in there if you want. But there's videos of middle school me playing death metal songs. Wow. And doing little covers. So I always kind of like viewed YouTube as like a conduit for whatever sort of, I mean, what it was is like a place where you demonstrate stuff or share your creativity. It's changed a lot since then. Yeah. But,
so that early experience with YouTube was pretty pivotal to your early career, right?
Yeah, because it was like, I knew it was something where I could, it also just like, I knew it was something very useful. And then I knew I could use that as a means of sort of, honestly, I didn't even think I was going to make like a living off of it. I was like, I just like making videos. I could share it. Maybe I'll get some notoriety in the art space or whatever. Yeah. It happened to turn into something that I could then monetize, and the ball's kind of been rolling since then. Yeah, and tell me, how did that feel the first time? So at the time, so can we jump back a little bit? At this time, you had, as far as I know, you had kind of like made a deal with your parents that you're not going to finish medical school and you're going to do art. And what was it? How long did you give yourself? How long did they give? Like, I think it was something like a year or two. And I was like, I'll find some way to make money off of this. So yeah, I dropped out. Great conversation. Loved that. Loved coming home. Like, hey guys, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be an artist. I'm gonna draw anime. Don't worry, it'll be sick. And he's working on The Witcher now. So, well, I worked on it already. Worked on it. I'm working on other stuff. I can't talk about it. Yeah. Actually, no, I could talk about one of them. Avatar: The Last Airbender, coming out next year. No way. Yeah. All right, but don't worry about that. We'll get into that. No way. So I was like, hey, I'll find a way to make this work. Because like, I was used to just working at the pace of a med student. So I was like, I can kind of sort of gear myself in a way that I could make some sort of living with art. And I had already like spent a lot of time learning music throughout most of my early life. So I kind of knew the process, I guess. Like with music, it was learn the fundamentals of scales, being able to play your instrument, and then like larger things like song composition, dynamics, which you can learn by doing like covers or really just listening to music. And then from there, I went to writing my own music. So I kind of had this like progression in mind of like, start with the building blocks, like you're learning grammar, then sort of like study other musicians, artists, whatever, learn like what they're doing to make things interesting. And then you experiment and try to, you know, the rest of your life now is like experiment and try to make your own thing. And not to jump too far ahead, but part of what I like, oh, that's not me. Part of what I like about animation is that it combines all those things together, where it's like, there's so many overlaps of songwriting, drawing, and then like, now those are fused together, and how those dynamics work together with each other is like writing a full piece of music together. It's really fun.
Wow, can you get more into that? What do you? I'd love to, because I'm someone who I feel like when I look at your journey, I see it. Even though you're obviously years ahead, but I see a reversal in mine, because I went into animation because I saw it had the biggest focus on perspective and form and draftsmanship that I wanted to achieve from your videos. Yeah. And I was like, animation's so focused on perspective because everything has to be rotated and understood as a form. So I went into Sorry?
I said you're not wrong.
Yeah. Awesome. So I went into animation because that's what they focused on. Whereas in fine art, it felt a little, obviously still important stuff, but it felt, what you taught in your videos felt a lot like what was focused on in animation. Yeah. And then since then, I decided to leave animation and focus more on the drawing. But in that same time, in the last few years, you specifically focus on animation. Now you work in the animation industry. So I want to know a little bit more what you mean by music and all of it kind of coalescing in animation.
So I have a couple of reasons.
1 second. Oh, it's the same.
I'm going to do one more set and then I'm
then
we're good.
Please. I know it's been more than 2 minutes. Please. Oh, it's just like out of sync. Get us in the same frame.
Okay. You know what we should do?
Yeah, what should we do?
We should go to the Kilter board.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll do some climbing.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna say I appreciate that. You didn't have to grab my shoes.
Oh, I thought these were her shoes.
Oh, they're mine. Thank you though. Let's see if the Kilter area is back there, and it's usually like a little sequestered off.
And Kilter board's that small one that doesn't like change size. It's like
the
one that lights up.
It's the one that lights up. Dude, this is so nice. I'm gonna hang this up in my bedroom.
Sweet. Yeah, no, I saw it. I figured I gotta.
It's so awesome. Thank you.
I got to talk to. So how did you just obviously like Kendrick is huge, but how did you like you made all those videos? What was do you remember the first time you saw his work or what you thought?
My friend Frank showed me his stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And hold on. Here, wait. I'll chat with you once you're over here.
Wait, I'm not sure. Is that your shoe or mine?
That's yours. Oh, but I have to campus board on camera. That's one.
Oh hell yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's one important part.
Cool. Yeah, and teach me some climbing lingo because I know crimping. Is it crimping?
Crimping is this. Campus is when you don't use your legs. But then I do a lot of outdoor climbing too. So just like I started working out more to build the strength for that.
And the outdoor climbing, it's not just like you find a rock and it's like, is there designated spaces for that?
There are, yeah.
I thought you just like go to Central Park and go, that's a cool rock.
Well, actually in Central Park, you can essentially do that.
Really?
Where but they have been mapped out in the sense that there's like spots people know and they've graded them similar to this. But for me, outdoor climbing, I could do rope climbing where you strap in and you go up like 400 feet in the air.
I saw that. So the best documentary I think I've ever watched is Free Solo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't believe that's like it was legal to film that shit.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Now that I'm like a little more involved in rock climbing, it's very common for people to free solo stuff. Like
really,
like he's the best at it.
Yeah.
But like I was up in the Gunks where this hat came from, and I was doing my first trad climb. It's called where you're like placing gear into the wall and stuff. And this dude, I'm shaking. I'm terrified, and this dude's next to me just free soloing it.
Holy.
He's like 65 years old, in amazing shape, and he's like, how you doing over there, buddy? I'm like, I'm doing good. And he's like, my wife hates when I do this. And he just like free soloed past me. I'm like,
wow,
shit's wild.
No, that's crazy. I mean,
so crazy.
I don't understand how you. I mean, I'm a man of risk. I like it, but
yeah.
You get one chance.
Yeah.
One chance.
Hey, what's your risk of choice if you're gonna take a risk? Like, what's the riskiest thing you've ever done?
I think I just like riskiest thing I've ever done. I mean, I like risk in terms like I like playing poker. I like risky things. Like I don't. I just
I have
Yeah.
a theory
Yeah.
and how it ties back to art. I think there's something to people who enjoy risk correlated to being successful in art. I think there's because there's like one, you have to take creative risks, and if you like doing risky things, you're more willing to be a little adventurous and sort of like push that bound. And like, you know, you just like throw $1,000 on black.
Yeah.
Just go do roulette.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what we're doing when we say we're gonna leave a stable career for doing something with a much less higher risk of return. But no, I definitely, I think I've thought that before where, it takes a certain type of, and I want to get into that a little bit. Yeah. What kind of person, it takes a certain type of person to succeed in art. Yeah. And there's definitely a higher tolerance for the unknown, which I guess would be risk too.
Yeah, that is a type of risk.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be okay with not knowing
where
your next job's coming
from. You're like the job structure. So tell me a little bit about the field you're in right now. Like how's so even a full-time artist, you're not on like in a company. How does that work in like the modern workforce right now with animation? Is it you're on a yearly contract or commissions here and there? What's the?
It's usually there'll be like 3 to 6 month contracts. I have a couple of recruiters that I speak to on a regular basis that will reach out to me when projects come up. There's a lot of, for whatever reason, the 90s anime style is like really in fashion right now. So I get a lot of job offers that are like, hey, this director really likes your page. Do you want to do this? A lot of times honestly, most of them are just Instagram DMs from like either art directors, people I know that are already working in the industry. Maybe they're on a project and they're like the Avatar one, John Lamb, who worked on Invincible and a bunch of other shit. He was like, hey, I don't think I can do this, but I recommended you. Do you want to do it? And I'm out to dinner having drinks with my girlfriend. And I'm like, I just got a DM about working on Avatar. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. When you just see an email from someone, you're like, okay, wow. Great.
And like, for what it comes in sort of waves. Like when I posted a bunch of the stuff from The Witcher, I got like 9 job offers that day. And that was simultaneously cool, but also kind of feels like shit because then you have to like choose and say no to certain things. And so it takes a lot of balancing, like managing your time and like where I'm at now, like there's a little bit of like picking and choosing, knowing how much time to devote to personal stuff, how much time to take a break and have a vacation, all that kind of stuff.
That's another aspect of, I feel like the career you're in is knowing how to manage your own time because there's no set job structure. So I think there's an advantage to being kind of like a workaholic. Yeah. Especially in the early days where I feel like, was this right for you where when you're first starting out, let's say the YouTube channel, were you working more than like a 40-hour job?
Oh yeah, I was working like crazy.
You were drawing like 14 hours a day, no? Like, I think I heard from some video you did in the past.
It was a lot. I'm not doing that now.
Yeah, because you get to slow it down a little bit once things are established. 2 questions before we do campusing. First, dream job. What, if you have any project, what's the dream project you could work on?
Dream project is honestly like just making my own stuff. There's no particular movie or show that would really like draw my interest other than I want to make an indie game. I want to direct a movie. And I want to just like make IPs and bring those to life. So it's really all like, I just want to work with my friends and bring ideas that we have, like random ideas we have to life and that kind of thing. So there's never like, I don't know. I feel like I've worked on a decent number of projects that I'm excited about. Maybe Dragon Ball Z would be cool if they, like I know they brought, they have Daima that came out. So that would have been interesting to work on. It's like the new Dragon Ball. But honestly, it's more about like, not the project per se, but more about the role within that project. So like when I directed the commercial for Lenovo, which I don't like, but whatever.
Really?
I don't like how it turned out.
Really?
But I really, I'll get into that in a second. Yeah. I like that process of working with the design team, designing characters, storyboarding, writing, and like I had my hands in everything. And that was so fun. it's like such a really, really cool experience, like really powerful experience, and like assembling that team, putting everybody together. I do wish the circumstances surrounding that were different, but just because it was such a tight timeline, tight budget, the tightest of budgets possible.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, it's super fun. So I like the idea of making my own stuff and that sort of being like a nebulous future that could kind of go anywhere. So.
You mentioned a few years ago on a different video, you wanted to maybe work on a Magic the Gathering card. Is that still a dream?
Not anymore, just because I can't paint for shit.
Oh yeah, because they're doing painting, mostly paintings.
Although they did just do an anime line.
Really?
Yeah. That was sort of when I was teetering back and forth trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then I kind of just like tapped back into what 5-year-old me was really into. And I was like, all right, let's just go back to basics. Just make the art that would have made me happy when I was a kid. And that's kind of just been the philosophy since then. Is like, I'm just going to make shit that if I showed 5-year-old version of myself, I'd be so fucking hyped. So
I feel like that's got to be good advice for anybody trying to make a career in the arts. Do what you feel. How did you contend with that early on? Because there's always a battle between what people want and what you want.
Oh, that's never been a problem for me.
Really?
That's never been a problem for me. I like I said, I came from like a background of playing death metal. I'm used to writing stuff and making stuff that
already
people don't want to hear. Yeah,
that's true. Okay.
So it's never been for anybody other than like what me and my boys think is cool. It's never been. I was gonna say it's never been to impress women, because most of the time my audience, and still is to this day, is just bearded boys. I'm making it for the boys. We're having a good time.
The 90s Dragon Ball kids.
Yeah. Oh, we're making the boys happy, the bearded guys, the fat bearded dudes who are listening to death metal, and that's my target demo.
Hey, and you're hitting it.
And because that's in my spirit, that's what I am, except for when I'm doing campus board.
It always surprises me, because knowing that history and then seeing the intros in your videos like 5 years ago, it does not. It doesn't correlate, because there's some theater kid in there, but you don't have.
Hey, listen, no, there's theater kid. Listen, you're not familiar enough with metal to know that metalheads are all.
There's a pipeline there that I don't.
They're all a little bit theater kids.
So I was a huge theater kid, so it's like.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know.
It's an incredibly theatrical genre. It's an incredibly theatrical genre.
So you mentioned this. You already have a kind of a tolerance for being, not caring what the mainstream, I guess, would think, and I think that's got to help with your conviction in your art and knowing what your vision is and chasing that. Last question before you get to campusing.
Yeah.
What is one skill? Let's say you have a student who's just fantastic at drawing. Is there one skill that stands out as something else they need to succeed in the field you're in right now, succeeding in art?
I think so. I actually have a student that is fantastic at art. I'm teaching him. We have like one-on-one sessions every week. I think a big thing about standing out, or like what helped me, was sort of just tapping into what you love. Like I was saying, like the whole goal for me is just do something that would appease or make my child version happy. And I think leaning into that's really good. Having some sort of vision, like I think when at least appealing to a director, it's like if they go to your page and one day you're painting, the next day you're doing figure drawings, the next day you're sculpting, the next day you're doing collage. It's like a director's gonna have no idea what the fuck to do with you. And that makes you a gamble for them, because it's like, what am I going to get if I hire this person? It's dangerous to hire this person. Like, it's not cheap to hire a person to work on a project. And I know this from having been on the other side of it, where I'm hiring artists. I'm going to go with the people that look like they know, or I know what I'm going to get when I hire them. So I think when you go to my page or anything like that, you kind of have a pretty clear idea of what you're going to get. It's very like clear aesthetic. There's animation. It shows like some animation, some layouts, some storyboards. So you got a sense of like what I do and the aesthetic that comes along with it. So I think, and then on top of that, if you can make the artwork have some sort of emotional pull to it, then those are things that will help you stand out. None of those things are easy to do. And I'm still struggling and failing to do those things all the time, but through that failure, you just kind of progress and get better and better at it.
Yeah, it's just spiraling upwards. And,
Yeah.
and do you still feel like that? I know every artist looking up at the professionals goes, wow, they have it all figured out. But do you still feel like, man, how did I get here? Kind of like.
Sometimes, I'd say yes and no. There's sometimes where I'm like, I look at my drawings now, I'm like, oh, it's pretty fucking cool. And I'm like, actually, I fuck with that. But then there's other times where I'll be like, wow, I fucking suck right now. But I think I'm not confused as to how I got here. I think like there's a very clear sense of perseverance and willingness to take risk and like push in a clear direction. So I think, whatever modicum of success I've had, I'm not surprised by it. I guess.
It's not. It's clear. I mean, it's clearly laid out in every single video. You have every foundation laid out. And
I mean, I'm not surprised at all how good I am at canvassing.
So speaking of which, let's see.
Well, let's start with do you want to start us off, or do you want me to start us off?
Sure. Well, I'll start. So you guys know what a normal novice canvasser is? What are we doing?
What you want to do, you could do it like, you could start out, you could just go.
Oh, shoot.
Like that.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Oh, this is going to take some grip strength.
Eventually what we'll do, there's a couple things we'll do. We can make the grip harder.
Okay.
And then you can do is you can skip.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shit, I didn't skip on that one.
Okay. It's just all arms.
It is.
Okay, wow. Okay.
This is for your art career, dude.
Yeah, this is so I can grip the stylus a bit better.
You got it. You got it. You got it. So strong.
Okay. Hey, we did one.
There you go. Nice landing.
Yeah.
Let's try it with a little bit.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, we're going back down.
Oh.
Well, that was smooth. Okay.
That's all right.
All right.
Don't hurt yourself. You could actually injure yourself with
Really?
your fingers. You could get a pulley injury.
Oh yeah, no.
So if you're finding that it's too painful, stop immediately.
Oh, this is not going to work. I can
Okay.
feel it already. So my friend climbs, and I just don't understand the grip strength here.
See what he's
Well, I
doing?
did that in post. I did that. So let me. Wait.
So good.
Wow, I went all the way up,
Dude.
all the way down. That was
Impressive.
easy, but
Impressive.
All right.
I'm
Your
gonna-
turn again, James.
I'm going to give it a little bit of time. I'm going to go on this one, but I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
dude.
thank you. I didn't know I could do 2 rounds and then a backflip, but I can't.
It was so insane.
Who knew?
It's amazing that you took a sip of Celsius and you were able to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not a sponsor, but
Maybe they will be after
one
this.
day, Celsius, the drink for
For
artists
climbers?
and climbers, everyone.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a good idea. I can't believe my boyfriend just drank Celsius.
There we go. The ad.
Shit.
So,
Built-in ad.
so fast. I love him so much.
Except on the footage, it'll just be us talking and you mouthing it because it hears us.
I can't believe my boyfriend is so strong after
Let's get the
drinking
Celsius in here.
Celsius.
Thank you,
He
Celsius.
used to beat me, but now
Wait, what? Beat me in the campusing competitions.
after drinking Celsius, he's so kind. I love Celsius.
Thank you, Celsius, for tempering my.
Let's go. For your rage
Yeah, for-
tendencies.
So you can move the button like that too.
To attract.
Yeah. How's the filming going so far? You feel? If it's on us,
I
it's
feel
good.
Bad.
Really?
I feel bad for you.
Is it moving around a lot?
Me?
Yeah. But it should just track us. So every time, just
okay.
no, it's okay. You don't. Yeah, you just double tap. Yeah, you just double tap.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. Listen, we're homegrown here. It's not supposed to be. This ain't Proco, all right?
So I'm trying to lower this. You usually can.
Lower the wall?
Yeah, so you can change the angle.
Okay.
This pump's not working though for some reason.
Oh
so
wow.
it's a hydraulic pump that moves it.
Oh my god.
Let's see what we can do here.
So how long did you? When did you get into climbing?
I got into climbing, so I've been doing it like sort of on and off. But then about a year and a half ago, I was like, hey, I need something to replace hockey so I don't get concussions. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm already kind of, I've recurring
Just getting
headaches.
dizzy out of the blue.
Dude, it sucks. I from having concussions, I have like recurrent headaches.
Oh my God! Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so not a joke. Okay.
No, unfortunately, I wish it was a joke. I don't think I have CTE, but I definitely have some not as fun.
What was your worst injury?
I took a really gnarly fall. Somebody body checked me, and I was just like up I was up maybe this high off the ground,
Oh my
just like
God.
slammed down.
Oh my God!
Really, really sucked. I was wearing a helmet, but it still was.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's no hockey. Yeah, my dad used to play hockey, and
It's fucked
I
up.
played hockey as a kid, but yeah, that shit.
You get fucked up, man.
Yeah, you do.
All right, I
He
guess we're
snapped
gonna
his-
stick to 30 degrees,
Okay. Wow. Man.
but we're gonna do one more campus,
okay.
and then we'll see how that goes.
We will see how that goes.
30 degrees. Okay, cool. We got stuff there. All right. We got
All right.
one more campus. We did the first one. And
Yep.
I know you're going to do
We're
the...
gonna do the backflip again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow you to do backflips on camera, so I'm gonna have to cut that one.
Oh, a little too swing. Oh, shit.
So I'm pretty sure every professional artist just gets this ability.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
one
it's
day-
crazy how you got it now.
Yeah. When you get your first commission, you just unlock this power. Okay. Okay, I'll give it literally my best shot possible.
Yeah, but just don't hurt yourself.
Okay. Now the issue is even just.
Hey.
Oh, wait a minute.
There you go. Oh,
No, that's.
tough. It's tough.
Well done.
It was a valiant effort.
Yeah, it was definitely an honorable try.
All right, so
Okay.
now you might want to throw on
At
your
least these are a
climbing
little bit
shoes.
bigger. Oh yeah. Okay.
Before you get started, let's make sure we set it to. Let's start low and then work our way up.
All right.
Also, could use a little chalk.
Oh yeah. Is there
I have very, very little chalk.
chalk?
I have like the scraps of chalk that I can.
Well, I don't think it's gonna make a difference for me. So. Okay.
These shoes are
No,
so
you getting
tight.
the dogs in there? Not for free. That's for
No,
the.
you could get the
That's
dogs.
for the premium Patreon.
It just locked on.
Oh yeah, I have that feature.
It's all right.
You gotta.
Feet finder.
Don't mind if it's
I love that. Hey, listen, I'm working on that. The OnlyFans with the dogs, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the. Everyone knows us artists. You need diversified streams of income.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of diversified streams of income, aside from feet, how is
Wait, let me look.
Yeah, actually, let me get you in a more
Yeah.
comfortable position.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Hey, let's talk about this shit while you're
you're baby
looking
pose.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, oh, can I? Oh, thank you. Wow.
I got a whole
All
setup
right,
here.
Shoot.
for
Okay, here we
climbing.
go. Thank you. We're chalked up.
I'm sure the confident climbing person. I'm on my
Yeah, it's pretty dope,
Oh.
huh?
It's so fun. Okay, so we got Kilter. You were asking questions though.
Yeah. Your lifestyle as an artist.
Yeah.
What's it like now? How has it changed while you were kind of student professional in the early years of like YouTube?
It's a lot more drinking now.
A lot more drinking now.
I think, yeah, early on I was like really, really diligent with it where I was like, I think, you have to spend more time to sort of build those fundamental skills. So it like took me a really, really long time and I was working crazy hours. Now that I feel like more confident, I can kind of just sit down for the day and get started working. So usually what I'll do is I'll wake up maybe around 7 o'clock, go to the gym, draw for a bit. Before I fucked up my knees, take a midday run, come back. Then in Brooklyn, everybody's nearby. So it would just be like maybe around like 6, 7 p.m. Hit somebody up, hang out, do some stuff. And there's always things to do around. So very like, that's pretty much my life just on repeat. It's like,
Consistent schedule with the drawing?
yeah. Consistent schedule, like Monday through Friday with drawing. Occasionally, my girlfriend and I will do like figure drawing classes and that'll be kind of fun. But it's like, I'm also the type of person that I'm very loose with my schedule. So like, if I feel like taking a day off, I'll take that day off and then work an extra day over the weekend or I'll work double one day. So I'm still pretty fluid with it. Like, I think it's one of the benefits of being freelance and like, you know, working from home is you can just sort of play around with your schedule and like maybe one day I want to do what we're doing now and come to the rock climbing gym midday. I'll just work a little extra later, you know? So it's like, there's a little bit of wiggle room in that regard.
Now that's a pretty major benefit to working freelance. What's the downside of that? What kind of person do you have to be to
There's a big downside.
What's the downside?
The downside is the only person you hang out with during your workday is your cat.
In the mirror.
And the mirror, yeah. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'll just like, my office culture is petting Bobby Joe. That's my cat.
Yeah, Bobby Joe.
Bobby Joe. So that kind of sucks. But I sort of like pepper that in with sometimes I'll be like on a voice call with my friends that are also artists. Or like throw in some like FaceTimes throughout the day just to make it a little bit more exciting. And like I said, I sort of balance that out with a very active social life. So it's like I make up for the lack of socializing throughout the day by then like hanging out with everybody later on.
I see. And has that changed? Like, is the freelance work much more common after COVID, or is this kind of, you have to choose to be in the freelance?
It's kind of been, I think most people, like every project I've been on, there's been, aside from Avatar, it's mostly been freelancers. I think just because like, one, people are interacting and meeting each other via their profiles first. So like the director is finding people because they find them on Instagram and they know they can do the work. So then they'll just reach out that way. And then it's like, you have no idea where they are geographically. So it's usually ending up where it's like, most of the people you're finding are just on the internet all over the world. Like when I directed the commercial again, it's like, we had people in South Africa, we had people in London, we had people Australia. It's just like all over the place.
Okay.
All right.
What's this called?
This is called the Kilter board.
Kilter board.
There are 2 green holds.
All right.
That's where you're going to start. I can start us off.
Oh, this is like the starting position.
Yellows are feet only.
Ah.
These sort of tealish ones are hands and feet. And then the pinkish ones are where you end off.
Okay. Oh my God.
What am I doing?
So an unfortunate fact about me is I'm kind of colorblind.
Oh.
So green and yellow, pretty much, those two kind of look the same to me.
Okay.
So hopefully I don't.
I'll let you know if you're cheating.
But career-wise, I hope I work in drawing, I guess.
Yeah, just draw.
Yeah,
Who
just
cares
black
about
and white.
color?
All right, so
You're tall, so you could taller, so you could just grab those.
Yeah.
I wonder if that will help me in the art field. Be like, guys, I'm colorblind, but I'm taller. Okay, so we start here.
If you like,
Oh yeah, the grip strength's gonna just really end me.
you got it.
Okay.
You got this. You got this. You got it. You got it.
Okay, at least that one's.
Tricky move what you just did, starting with your left hand.
Oh
I don't know
shoot,
how
yeah,
I feel
because now
about that.
I'm kind of.
Now you got a match.
So this is.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, wow. So he makes it look much easier than this is.
Get your feet up. Get your feet up.
Oh shoot! Oh my God! Oh my God!
You got it. You got it. Oh.
Well. You want to try it? Hell yeah!
Yeah.
So if you just tap, let's see. Oh, I'm lost. You know, if you double tap,
Oh, so it'll
it
track
should
you saying?
Yeah. Should, unless the setting was changed. There we go.
Oh, it's crazy.
Track. Yeah, it's pretty dope. And only $6.99.
Wow.
Okay, you want me to lift you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this.
There we go.
Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Feet on. All right.
I'm done.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
That was the.
Hey.
No, so we're not
So
exaggerating.
my
Yeah,
backflip
it
was
did some
really
weird thing.
good. Got
Oh.
some good airtime on that. It doesn't. It's so.
No, it is a little finicky. There you go.
Whoa.
Oh, geez.
Wait, that's crazy though.
So
That's pretty nice.
My backflip, 2 seconds more airtime gained. See me, Olympics 2020.
2028.
Yeah,
2028.
Olympics. Oh shit.
So how many years you said you were climbing?
It's been about 2 years or maybe like a year and a half. Oh shit.
Wow, I'm gonna get out of the way here.
There we go.
Man. Bravo. We're just gonna be the support team here. Holy.
Climbing is so fun though.
No, I'll give it a try. Let's see.
Good luck. This
You
one's
gotta-
it's a little tricky.
I gotta contextualize it for the people who are just watching.
Oh, that one's not green. On your right hand.
See, that's what I'm saying.
The one just
Here.
below it, yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is where a foot's supposed to be?
That's a foot one, yeah. Here, let me get out of the way of the camera.
I don't. Okay.
No, you got it.
No, I do, for sure. How did that happen? How
Okay.
did this happen?
Okay, you get your foot up there.
Here? And then 1 foot here?
No. I would start with just 1 foot on the wall.
Here and then one
I'd start with my right foot there personally.
here.
And then the left foot's just sort of hanging.
Okay.
Or you could push it up against the wall if you want.
And then you grab that?
And you grab that with your right.
No, okay, well, there's an attempt.
So that move, you gotta commit to it.
Wow. Oh my God.
Like that. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit aggressive.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those are big moves though.
Yeah, those are.
At least for me they are.
Oh, for me, they're they're
I know for you they're super
every day.
easy.
Yeah, but
That's like nothing for you.
okay, shoot. Okay, so I don't think we've gotten a. Can I get you to give your story, your history?
Can we sit down and do it?
Yes, sure. Yeah, the feet.
Okay. Yeah, gotta powwow.
Okay. Yeah, powwow time. So, who is modern day James?
I
me
hate
the
that
history.
question so much. I hate that question so much.
So, start us off from early days. Can we start from the early music career?
Sure.
Yeah.
What if I start even further back?
Even further back?
I think like the biggest thing that got me into drawing was my brother and his friend Mike were so fucking good at drawing. I was 5 years old. They were my brother's 5 years older, so him and Mike always were drawing Dragon Ball Z. I was like, I want to do that. I want to be able to do that. So I would copy them a little bit, or I'd like copy drawings from the show. And like at that time, I didn't know anything about drawing fundamentals. So like obviously because I was 5, I didn't really understand when I'd look in like a drawing book. They'd have the circle with the lines through it, or it's building out forms. But for me, it was like, oh, I just wanted to do the final line work. So I would always kind of just work that way. I actually think a lot of that early on practice really got me good at seeing shapes, because it was just look at something and then study the shapes. And then all through elementary school, I was considered pretty good at drawing. Like I was always doing like art projects. I remember in 2nd grade, we had some book where we had to draw a bunch of animals. That was pretty good. Mine's pretty solid. My mom's got that shit. So I was always like I was always drawing. And then I discovered music in middle school. Started playing guitar a lot. I guess concurrently, I was playing piano when I was drawing at like 5 years old. But I don't really care about piano. I don't really give a shit about it. I just had to do it, so you know.
Mom like set you up.
Yeah. So I was playing piano, which I'm happy about because it's like such a good skill for music as well. But then I think around 11 or 12, I like really, really gravitated towards guitar. Like I picked one up, I played it, and immediately I was hooked. I was like, oh, there's something about this that just like got me. And I don't know what it was. I like played a few open strings. I'm like, that's my shit right there. Immediately do it. Wow. What led after that was like, I found every resource. I found like VHS tapes that my mom had about like learning scales on guitar. I found books. And I remember I went to one guitar lesson, and then by the 2nd guitar lesson, I had like learned way more than he told me to learn. He's like, try to just play these notes. I came in playing scales. I was like, yo, check this out. I was really into this. And he was dumbfounded. His name's Ruben. He's so awesome, incredible guitarist. He ended up like just being my mentor for a really long time. So we did lessons from middle school till my first year of college. And so we were always practicing together. And I think that really kind of set a lot of the framework for me for when I got into art. It's like, okay, I've been through this. I sort of know what to do. So I like had a good framework of how to go from just picking up the instrument to learning the scales and learning how to understand the technical side of things. And then once I started writing, and I'll elaborate on writing too, is like, I was really into death metal and metalcore and all that stuff. And there's no lessons on how to write that. There's no like, you just have to figure it out. And so my way of going about it at that point was I would learn songs by ear because there was no tabs for these songs because nobody knew who these bands were. And then I would listen like painstakingly slow to the song note by note with one headphone in, learn the guitar parts. And then eventually I started like writing my own songs, which were at the beginning just like direct copies of other songs or like really, really close with minor variations. And then over years, I started to develop a style that felt a little bit more unique to myself. That process takes forever. And I'm sure there's some people that are just like inherently unique when on the get-go, like their minds just work differently. Mine is sort of like, I developed that uniqueness via assimilating a bunch of different thoughts and ideas. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. So I was writing a lot of music in high school, I was writing metal in middle school. High school comes around, now we're starting to release music. And I had a really decent amount of success with that. You know, we were writing songs, putting them on MySpace. When we released our second EP, we had worked with a really good metal producer who's worked with like Lamb of God. You probably don't know these bands. I'm going to name bands, and people who like metal will know them.
Yeah.
Well, he worked with Paramore, worked with
Okay.
Suicide Silence, Lamb of God. I don't know. It's Machine Shop Studios. Yeah. Maybe somebody will know who that is and will care. Will Putney, great metal producer. So we put that out. And like at that point, we had built up a little bit of a MySpace audience. And then each one of us, when we released that record, had MySpace bots adding people. And our listen count for the songs went to like, I think it was like 200,000 plays in the first week.
Yeah.
Which was really fucking cool in 11th grade. I was like,
and
oh,
even
shit,
in
this is
the
awesome.
the early days too. That's like the inflation of 200,000 today would be like what, 2 million? Like
I don't know. In my
that?
mind, it felt like that. I was so hyped.
It's huge. Yeah.
And we pre-announced like a CD release show, and that shit ended up like selling out real quick because we had built up that audience. And
this is in high school.
Yeah, this was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was 11th grade, I think. There's videos online, so we can.
No,
check
I saw
dates.
that video, and people are still saying to this day it's like one of the best pieces of music. Like in the comments, there's like a cult, huge following for that.
Maybe.
So, really.
Well, people are saying that. I don't agree with them. I think
Well, that's the artist. That's every artist will feel that way. But no, it's like it's revered. I was looking through it. Like, wow.
I'll send you some footage from the shows that you can maybe pop in there.
That'll be cool.
But yeah, especially some of those shows after that EP came out, there was like, I think the physical, you don't get this in drawing, but like the physical result of having like 400 people show up to hear stuff you created is like very impactful. So already, I think from the beginning, I've kind of had this mindset like, oh, if I just make good shit, I'll make money, be famous, do whatever, sort of like I'll have success from doing
quality work.
Yeah, and as we were writing, another point just to circle back is like when we were writing that, it wasn't about those things. It was about let's just make a series of songs we think are really cool. And so the combination of okay, make stuff that's for you and your friends, do it well, and then once you've done that, then promote the shit out of it. That combination sort of like has stuck with me forever. Sometimes I fail at that, especially now in the promoting the shit out of it part. I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it right now. I don't feel like doing social media right now. I'm working on stuff. But yeah, I feel like that framework has kind of shaped a lot of the choices that I made throughout. Then college happened. College and being in a touring band don't go together real good. So then
especially medical student
workload.
Yeah.
So I was in pre-med first, and I ended up having to leave the band because we were like, it got to the point where like now lawyers are involved. There's like a whole situation, lawyers for like deals and stuff. So it's like a little bit more complicated. And we had shows scheduled during my finals and stuff. And I'm like, there's no way I can balance these two worlds anymore. So I had
It's
to.
interesting that
choice.
you got the opportunity again to decide between art and
Yeah.
medicine. And,
Well, I had felt remiss since I was like, you know, I had success in music, and then I felt like I kind of not squandered it, but I felt like I gave up something I knew that I loved to do science and medicine, which I think medicine is awesome, but there's so many signs that like I remember when the day I got accepted into medical school, I got accepted on the last possible day. It was the day before orientation. And I had already taken a year off after undergrad. So I was waiting around like, oh man, please somebody, you know, like.
did some part of you, like, any part of you hope that you didn't get accepted? And
Yeah, yeah, because I was having such a good gap year. And then I got accepted and I was so bummed. Because I was writing so much music. I was having such a good time.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and the music ties into the art also in that for the band, I was doing the artwork for the t-shirts, for the albums and stuff. So it like got me drawing a lot back then. It really got me interested in art. And I became that kid in high school that's like sitting on the bench sketching in my sketchbook. So it's like, you know, that all that sort of underpinning was there before I ended up leaving medical school. Med school happens. I'm in there. I think these people want to use this, so we could.
Oh yeah, we can move anywhere.
Okay. Yeah. We
Yeah, it's not even
could move this way.
Yeah, you were one of the pivotal reasons I remember I was in high school around the time that your like drawing like a G series came 7 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 22 now. 7 years ago, I'd be
you're so
15,
young.
16.
So young.
So yeah, grade 9, grade 10.
Yeah.
I had wanted to go to art school since like that age, wanted to do animation. And yeah, me knowing that it's like a tough field to get into, and I want to go to animation school because it was like, at the time, surefire way of, you have this idea that, well, it's a surefire career path. You go to university. Now I recognize that, especially in the arts, it's a lot more like quality. Like, I feel like you had your finger on the pulse of what makes a successful art career early on, which
I
is
was always
quality.
a bit of an asshole also. Like when I was writing music in high school, I knew kids that were going into music school. I'm like, music schools for fucking losers.
Yeah, so you had that idea early on, and I think you talked about it in something, but I remember as early as grade 9, I was like, modern day James doesn't think you need to go to art school.
No,
and he's great.
fuck that.
And I told my
appreciate
parents, and yeah, they had a similar thing. Like I dropped out last year when my YouTube videos started like doing okay, around like 10,000, but I was like, 10,000 is the hardest.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's the hardest part to get, the first 10,000. So since then, it's been like, it has been doing well, but that idea got implanted to me in like grade 9 years ago, where I know you're an example of someone who just you didn't pay X amount per year to learn. You just learned your art and actually use that as a springboard for your career, because you can learn and teach people on your way up. And so,
I'm so happy to have gotten you to drop out of school, and I'm happy for everyone that becomes a college dropout as a result of listening to a random guy on the internet. Not necessarily the result I'm looking for, but I'm glad that it's like you're obviously very successful. That's awesome. And yeah, it's like you don't have to. You know what really fucking pisses me off? Sorry.
No, hey, shoot.
People go to college, they go to art university, and they're like, yeah, they're just playing your videos. I'm like, I'm some dipshit that was in my brother's apartment making videos. Why are you showing my video? You have a college degree.
Yeah.
Teach 'em.
Yes, that's the thing.
Did you have that happen?
I know my old high school teacher is now asking me if they could play my videos.
Oh shit.
So
high school is different though.
Yeah,
That's
high
fine.
school is different. Definitely not college yet. Although I made a part of the like early videos was I went to and do you know Sheridan Animation? Yeah. So I went there, and part of it, it's hard to get into. There's like a lot of competition because it's got like a portfolio you have to do.
Yeah.
So my first videos were preparing for that application. Those are YouTube videos about that. So I know people like in preparatory programs play that, but no, by far, I mean, the skill differential is huge. But I found that I looked at it like if you're drawing a lot, it doesn't really matter who's telling you to draw what, as long as the foundation is you're putting in the work.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to know your experience with that. Is like as far as I know, in a lot of your videos, it seems like Scott Robertson's book, How to Draw, was like just like pivotal, like the Bible for learning how to draw.
Yeah, it definitely was like, it was one of those moments where I was watching his videos like right after I got out of school. I also want to say, just because I do get questions about it a lot, I don't want to say that that's like the end all be all of drawing, because there's so many other things to do with drawing, but it was certainly like the best, like it felt like a boot camp for learning perspective. So I think it is really valuable for that resource. I think one of the things I get concerned about, and this is just from the history of doing my YouTube channel, is like I get a lot of students that we talked about earlier, like they get stuck in sort of like box world, fundamental world, where they're just doing that over and over again. And like, I think so long as you keep your eye on the prize of like, and for me, there was no doubt in my mind that I sort of knew that the direction was eventually to create artwork that had like an emotional underpinning. But like, I just knew I needed those skill sets in order to get there. I don't want people to get stuck there, because like the whole point of drawing is to share yourself and like to share your preferences and your feelings and all that kind of shit. And it's like, technicality helps. It's just another it's another like part of the vocabulary of drawing, but it's not the end all. You know, like there's plenty of stuff that's super technical that I think looks like shit, and there's plenty of stuff that has no technicality whatsoever and it looks beautiful and it brings me, you know, joy. So I think like that book, read it, go through it. You're gonna be a badass at perspective if you can do all the stuff in there, but just keep your eye on the prize of like, this is the kind of art I want to make, or you know, that might evolve and change over time, but like have a sense of what your preferences are. I know it's a little bit of a sidebar from the conversation.
No, it's absolutely touching on something that like I feel like, and this is, we keep talking about the comfort with risk baked into navigating a career in arts, because interesting design is inherently on the border between what's like already known and what's unknown. It's not interesting if they've already seen it, but it's not familiar if they haven't ever seen anything like it. So design takes this willingness to try something new, and I find people who stay, you will see a lot of like a range of artists who either don't like fundamentals at all because they don't want to be held down by like the rules or something. But you also see the people who want to be like, well, before I do any of my dream stuff, I want to just do the focus on the box and focus on all the fundamentals. And I find it's like you become the artist, you become the things you practice. If you never practice your own ideas, you're not just going to know how to draw a box and all of a sudden design awesome shows. You need to experiment constantly, and getting comfortable. Nice. You gotta get comfortable in the unknown and be comfortable making things that you don't know how they're going to turn out. And now that ties into the art, but from the business side of being a freelancer, your own boss, making these different things from your early career in music, designing t-shirts, designing the YouTube channel, you probably had a lot of that risk and uncertainty. How have you contended with that?
The first step was having rich parents. That was the first start with the music. So
getting to art school, that's a prerequisite.
So you gotta make sure, like, if you fucked up and you didn't have rich
spawned
parents,
in the wrong place.
So just like, you know, start over, try it again,
reseed that
next
that
time
server.
You'll have rich parents. And you know, there's a whole host of issues that come with that too, but like, no, I will say I had like a nice, there's so many, this comes up a lot with when I'm talking to people on stream or whatever. Obviously our individual passions come into play, but there unfortunately is a huge like socioeconomic part to that, where like I did have a family that was well off, and it gave me the space and the privilege to be able to like just make mistakes. Like most people aren't afforded the ability to drop out of school, especially graduate school, and then just live rent-free and work on art 24/7. That's a really, really privileged position. I just want to acknowledge that is absolutely, like not something everybody can do. And I was given the graces of like being able to make so many different changes and follow whatever weird trajectory I needed to throughout my life. I think it helped me and that has been a component of drawing like throughout history. Like there's always been patrons of the arts and like the unfortunate like financial side to it where people have to, you have to have that support system. I think, again, another unfortunate consequence of coming from a family that was like, we didn't start out super wealthy, but you know, my dad's an entrepreneur, started a construction company that took off and did well. So like I kind of had that modeled to me. And then, you know, I saw the benefits of taking those risks and him building that business. Plus then I had the financial support once I was going to do that. So I really didn't feel that much of a sense of risk. Like for me, there's been so many dumb decisions I made throughout the whole process where like, you know, I sometimes think like, yeah, if I didn't have such and such and such a thing, you know, I would have totally blown this whole thing up at a certain point. Yeah. So that's part of it. It also changes how I see financial risk, where like, you know, like I started the studio, directed the commercial, and lost money on the commercial, which is like, you know, that in itself is a financial risk, obviously, and a privilege to be in that space. But I took that risk knowing like, yeah, I'm agreeing to do something that is severely under budget, but I'm going to learn a lot from it. I'm going to hope to leverage that to move into other things, which it has done. So, sorry.
If I can spring off of that for a second, that's kind of one of the justifications, and I'm in a very similar position. I have the privilege of leaving school because my parents were able to fund it for me.
Rich Parent Club, baby.
Right, Rich Parent Club. Thank you, Dad. But I found that's one of the, when you look at going to art school, and like, let's say you're designing your future as an artist, and you can look at it like a game, kind of, just like working out. You can look at like, where would the units of output best be put, right? When you look at paying for art school, you know it's going to be what, like at least $10,000 to $40,000 a year. And I saw that, and you can see that, okay, so you could pay to go to art school $10,000 to $40,000 a year, or you could also invest that in projects that could, if they go badly, lose you that money, but the upside is much higher, where in art school, the best case scenario is that you lose that money. But let's say for the commercial you did, the worst case is you lose some of that money, you learn a lot, just like school. But the best outcome is that you gain a lot more of that money back. So that's kind of how I justified leaving art school to do art while trying to try this like entrepreneur thing, right? Because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, once you leave art school, every artist will sort of have to learn how to be their own boss and manage themselves after as well, right?
Unless you get a job right out of it. Like, I have my friend Eitan Zana, who works for Naughty Dog. Or no, he used to work for Naughty Dog. He just like got the job immediately out of college, and he's fucking awesome, so it makes sense. But like, I think now the landscape is a little bit more like you have to be your own boss kind of thing. I see a lot of the same faces on projects each time I go to a new project, and they're all doing freelance. So everybody's kind of at least in this space, it feels like a lot of people are like, whatever weird anime pocket I'm in, feels like a lot of us are all freelance, kind of doing our own business. And it's fun, it's challenging. It's, there's no like, what's really exciting about it is it changes from day to day. The downside is you have to be willing to take that financial risk, or be willing to be like, hey, I don't have a project next month. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's like this instability is the excitement, and at times you're like, man, I could use a stable money.
That lens could be applied to a lot of my life. Of like, ooh, there's something exciting in the looseness and milieu of wherever this is going, and like the unpredictability is, I don't know, there's something exciting.
So you
about
kind of sound like a risk taker.
Oh yeah, dude. I love risky shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been like that. It's like my brother always, like my token phrase growing up. Any game I'd play, I'd be like, "What do you want to bet on it?" Because it's like, if it's not for stakes, I don't know why I'm trying. So Yeah, and outside of art, I think definitely like entrepreneurially, that's definitely a trait that overlaps with a lot of like, entrepreneurs probably have that. Ooh, I like that thrill of what happens.
Now you have to start climbing buildings with me.
Okay, well, hold on. No
There's
free
a lot of
solos
stuff
here.
to climb out here in the city. It's great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So your dad, you said he kind of modeled that. How much did he? So
He's a real risk taker.
Yeah. So he modeled that entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah.
Was he on board when you suggested? He was on board.
Yeah, he was.
So it was his mom who was like, "No."
But she was also. It was just the first day was real tumultuous, but they were supportive after that.
And how long? What was the turnaround time before that?
It was pretty quick actually. I kind of made a good pitch to them. I'm like, remember that time I was in this band, and then you had
you already had a career.
Yeah, it's like, I can do this shit. I got it.
Yeah.
And it was. I started making money with it like a year and a half in, so it wasn't like such a hard process for them to sort of deal with. And then I moved in with my brother, and shouts out to brother Bill, who didn't make me pay rent. Which was awesome. Yeah. And that made it like financially way easier, obviously. It was fun. And you know what? My dad, definitely a entrepreneurial, risk-taking individual. Sometimes extra legally, sometimes
do what you gotta do
in ways that.
I wanted to ask about teaching, because I found that oddly teaching, I feel sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm getting more out of this making these videos than the students watching them, because so how did that, because I feel like there's a huge advantage to teaching that oddly enough doesn't get said enough. There's always ways to learn. Everything's about how, like, all the videos we make are about how to learn better, but maybe one of the things that's never said is how important it is to teach, because what you're doing is coalescing everything you know. Have you felt a similar experience?
Not only have I thought that, I explicitly say whenever I'm teaching, I'm like, this isn't for you.
It's for me.
I'm like, I'm learning more. I'm making money. I'm making content. This is for me, baby. Don't thank me.
Right.
Like, I get thank you. Sometimes people will message me and say thank you. I'm like, I'm glad it could help, but like, thank you. I have a career now. So, also, kind of joking, I do really genuinely like teaching, and I think it's really fun to like meet people, and there's like a fun psychological component to like sort of assessing how someone's brain works, and then going, okay, what would be the best thing for them? Like someone who draws really tightly and is really like uncertain about expressing themselves. I give them a lot of exercises where they're like scribbling and being messy. Or if it's somebody that's only scribbly and messy and very expressive, it's like, all right, you need to like tighten this ship up a little bit so you can like learn to actually have some like accuracy in what you're doing. So that's fun for me. I've always learned through teaching though. Like my first job was a guitar teacher. Then in college, I was teaching biology, chemistry, physiology as a TA. And so I kind of just always saw the benefits of teaching, and it just felt kind of natural. It was just like a thing that I did, partially because I just like hearing myself talk. And then I'm like, hey, what if I just subject other people to hearing me talk? And then people seemed to like it, so I just kept making videos. And, I've slowed down with making videos, but I've got a bunch in the pipeline. I've got a bunch recorded, filmed. I just hate doing voiceovers, dude.
Really? So
it slows me down so much.
Yeah, this is more for me now. What's your production pipeline like? How did it change from the early days? Because I find I'm in a similar place where, well, first I want to ask, did the audience, you already said a little bit that the audience never really got to you, but when you started seeing that success on YouTube, how much did the audience start like affecting, like do you start getting into the numbers, statistics thing, or like, oh man, I want to get the views up or something?
I don't think so. Like I'm excited by numbers, but like when the numbers go up, it's like, oh, that's cool, that's exciting. But like, I don't know, if you look at the videos that I'm putting out now, it's like, they're not algorithm friendly videos. I just like, nobody wants to watch storyboarding fundamentals, or like the next one is like cutting and continuity within storyboarding, which is like a hyper specific thing. It's a niche within a niche. Because it's like, the overarching thing is drawing, then within that is animation, within animation storyboarding, and then a deeper cut within storyboarding.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe that video will get 10,000 views, but I'm still going to make that video.
But the people
So,
you're giving the video to are like, they're thanking you because no one makes videos on that.
They're going to love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like for me, the goal when I first started the channel was like, hey, what if we make like pseudo college curriculum of like, you can watch a playlist and it'll just teach you this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to do that. So it's like when I have like a storyboarding playlist, I've got a list of videos I want to make there. I don't even know if it's going to be financially viable, if anyone's going to watch it, but like, I don't know, I'm just going to make it and we'll see what happens. Sometimes that stubbornness gets in the way a little bit where I'm like, I don't know, I probably could make a lot of money if I just taught perspective for like the next 30 years, but I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about teaching perspective over and over again for the next several decades. Some people do and they're passionate about it and that's awesome. That's just not who I am. It's like, I think those are things that are useful, but yeah, I don't want to have any sort of audience capture or anything like that.
And has that always been the case? Like even,
yeah.
Wow.
Problematically so. Like I probably should have more audience capture so that I can continue to have a career doing what I'm doing, or at least on YouTube. But I'll see trends. I have such hater energy sometimes where I'm like, I see a trend, I'm like, nah, fuck that. I ain't doing that.
Will you ever do those like, do you think you're ever gonna be a YouTube personality and not a teacher? Like, is that ever on the horizon, kind of?
It would have to be about something not related to drawing. So like something where we're like goofing around.
Rock climbing?
Rock climbing. There's already some great, I have toyed with the idea of doing an urban climbing YouTube channel where we go around Brooklyn and other parts of New York and just like find random buildings to climb.
Oh, you weren't kidding about that?
No, I wasn't. I have videos filmed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a joke.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that.
I've been climbing buildings for a hot minute.
Wow.
Since before I was drawing professionally.
Okay, there's a whole history
Yeah,
to unravel here.
Yeah, it's not like tall buildings, just
A couple stories.
you have a couple beers
Sounds like
and
it's
then
enough to get. Oh,
you have a couple beers and then you go.
You lose stability, but you gain courage.
Yeah,
Evens out.
The night we met my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, I climbed the bar that we were all at. It was a 2-story bar.
Oh my god.
And I waved to them from the whatever the window in the roof, the skylight. I was like, "Sup, dudes?" And that's how we met my sister-in-law.
Wow.
And there's a whole host of very silly climbing stories that I actually will I do have a script written for a bunch of silly, goofy climbing / party stories from high school and college. I just have a real fun time going to parties and being a silly guy.
A little rascal.
A little rascal at parties. A little bit.
Just scaring people from above.
Yeah, that actually did happen once. So I have a script that I don't know if I'll do anything with it, but it's called Amateur Hour. And I've kind of been workshopping that for a while, and there's some like really, really funny stories in there. So maybe someday I'll do that. But again, that's like, those are all little elements from life that you can kind of bring into storytelling.
Yeah, there's a famous quote, I think Brad Bird, like you can't work in animation if you're not going to live. Like living is the first source. I butchered that quote, by the way, but
you did such a good job.
Yeah, thank you. You get the point.
Never heard the quote, so
yeah, he's like, you have to live if you want to create animation that feels believable, because life is the source for all of it. Can we talk about your dreams? Because you have basically any student looks at your life and goes, wow, that's the dream. That's the dream right there. Work on professional Netflix movies, have your own career, make YouTube videos, sustainable source of income. Really nice a career, but I'm assuming you still have the same sort of Mount Rushmore of people you want to be like, oh, I want to get there too. What's your?
I mean, I think the things, if you couldn't tell, like the things that I light up about is like, as I was describing those stories to you of my childhood or whatever I'm doing, it's like that kind of gets me excited, and I think, okay, what if we took those stories and turned them into animations or a video game or like something like that. So there's no project necessarily that's like that I'm looking to do necessarily, but I want to take those feelings that I experience, like, I don't know, first heartbreak, like turning that into a scene even, or a full piece, or like, not to get too personal, but like the feelings of like dealing with conflict in parental relationships. It's like, how do I put that into a piece?
Yeah.
And so like the overall goal has been, and will always be, how can I communicate those feelings via whatever skill sets I've developed. And everything else in between is kind of just like me finding my way there. And the rest is all bullshit.
No, I think that's I've found weirdly that I found my art is very impersonal, where a lot of it's focused on the technical stuff.
Yeah.
And the stories, and like when I feel sad, weirdly enough, it comes out through writing, and like I'm not no musician.
You just got to develop the vocabulary.
Yeah. So how's that been? Like how can you? Is there a formula you found to tapping into kind of the emotion, or is it really just going in on yourself?
You already used the worst word. You said formula.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. No formula.
Use the worst word.
Yeah.
No, there's no formula. It's like, at a certain point, just allow yourself to stop thinking so much about fundamentals. Get out a piece of paper and literally make a fucking mess, scribble, do some bullshit, and then gradually, more and more, you allow yourself to be expressive. And like, I'm somebody that thinks there's value on both sides of those things, but it just takes a little bit of opening up. It's like when you're, I don't know, in a conversation or you meet somebody, it's like, you're not going to start that conversation off by giving your most interpersonal or like inner details. It's going to gradually build to that. So it's the same when you're working with art. It's like, yeah, if you're not used to being emotive when you're drawing, and you don't practice that, or you don't try to do it, then that's not going to come across, you know? So like a good, something I did with my therapist was, I talked to her about it. She's like, hey, when you feel this way about like your mom or your dad, like just draw something about it. See how that feels. And so I started doing that after a session, and be like, okay, I have some feelings about that. Let me try to translate that feeling into a drawing. And the drawing doesn't need to be good, but just take the emotion, how you feel. Maybe you're on the verge of tears, maybe you're laughing, maybe whatever. And go, okay, how do I try to translate that? And again, I fail at that all the time, but like, I think just trying to do that is the first step there. And it will take like a little bit of just getting used to, like, work. Something that really helped me just on a physical level is like, sometimes I use a light box a lot. So I'll just like go in with Sharpie, make a big mess and be scribbly and like a child. But I have the technical side to be able to turn those scribbles into like drawings that I think look good.
But starting from that place without thinking,
Yeah. And so if you watch any of the stuff that I'm doing on stream now, where I'm like making characters, it's like, it's really loose, and I'm not thinking too hard, and I'm not like overburdening my brain. I'm like kind of feeling like a child and just making a mess. And then, have the technical skill from drawing stuff that I draw a lot. And that vocabulary expands as well. Like, there's still stuff that I need to get way better at drawing. But yeah, I think another thing is like, think about times in your life that were really emotional. Try drawing those. I've made a lot of storyboards of like memories I've had, or like really impactful memories. Like there was one storyboard I was making about this like paintball fight that I had with my best friend in middle school. And he was like my first really, really close friend. And that moment was like so poignant in my life. And I think back to that memory with a lot of fondness. And so like, I can see my visuals, and like to try to draw that out on the page, not being concerned about how the drawings look, just like scribbling is really valuable. And that's one of the things I like about animation in general. It's like, one, it is a medium that's really good for telling stories, because it's sequential. You've got sound, you've got time, you've got whatever. And also a lot of the process is really loose and scribbly, and it gives you that space to like really just like get your feelings out on the page. I think when I get most bored or unhappy when I'm animating or whatever is when I feel like there's nothing emotional here. There's nothing that's like really happening. Like if I have a shot that's just like I'm not feeling it, I don't like it very much. But then like I just had a shot for the movie I'm on where it's like this person's screaming in somebody else's face, and I'm like, okay, I can tap into that feeling and really try to think about like what are the mannerisms and things I would do in that situation if I was like feeling that way. But yeah, so like I think that natural there's a progression of like leaning towards, you know, tapping into that emotional well, seeing like what you can sort of muster up. But I wouldn't expect it to happen immediately.
Yeah, it's a practice. I think that's even outside of art, just tapping into your like, I guess your present feelings is a practice outside of art. It's like, you gotta be present. You gotta meditate. That's actually something Fatima and I are really different in. That is that I'm not very present with my emotions. I find. I'm like,
you're so unemotional. I can tell, man.
You're like, I've seen it in you, man. You got, something that I've noticed, and it's. Yeah, I find I'm super, I guess, systematic, where everything, it's like, oh, I should meditate because it'll help me be a better, draw
it's a
better.
Safety mechanism.
Yeah, and like
it's safe for you.
Or it always filters through what would be the best for, like productivity-wise. Like, I need to take a break to go outside, not because it's good to walk, but because I need to. Get some more serotonin so that I can.
You've got capitalism brain. That's fine.
Kind of. Yeah,
that's good.
Like, absolutely. And she's very opposite and always reminds me because it comes. Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm sure because you talk about how much it's like important to have that emotional resonance with the art. I find that you can't. We're in a field where, like, all of you needs to be brought to the table if you're going to do your best work. And when I'm not, like if I haven't journaled or I haven't really just had some peace of mind for a while, you don't feel into the art at all. You lose not just productivity, you lose consistency, and your art just feels like lifeless. So.
Yeah. I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
You ever cried in front of your friend? First question.
I have a pretty hard time crying in front of my friend.
A friend.
Not that I can, maybe a family member. For her definitely.
I assume for a significant other. That's why I went to friend and not significant.
Yeah. Oh, friend? I don't think so. Not that I can remember.
It's an important thing to do.
It's tough.
Something. I used to be really embarrassed about it, where I'd cry a lot. I'd cry in front of my friends and be like, "Oh wow, that's embarrassing, shameful, whatever." And then realize it's like actually really awesome to be connected and to sort of like allow yourself to express yourself to people. So I think tapping into that is really valuable. It's really good.
How's that? How do you first tap into
go to
that?
therapy?
Like
go to therapy. I mean, you don't have to. It's also just like just allow yourself to be honest with people. That's helpful. But my second question.
Okay.
You ever been in a fight?
Physical fight?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Now you have to do both of those things.
No, except my brother.
I'll count it.
Count it?
I'll count it. You got to do both of those things, and that's how you tap into your emotional well. You have to cry in front of your friend.
Yeah.
And you have to get into a fist fight with somebody.
I can see the link with the crying. But what does the fight unlock? Like,
it's a little bit of the risk stuff. It's a little bit of like, it's such a extreme human expression. I have a lot of, if you couldn't tell by my musical tastes, I have a lot of like, I think there's so much like beauty in like expressing anger through art. I think it's really interesting. Like I think that's one of the best parts about like hardcore metal. It's like, especially right now, there's a lot of bad shit going on in the world. Don't know if you know about that. Yeah. It's a time to be angry. Yeah. And like, when somebody, you didn't ask me, but when people have asked me, like my girlfriend will ask me like, what do you like about this? I go, I don't know. If you're talking about police brutality, genocide, what's the right emotion to have for that? And I think to be able to tap into that is really fucking cool. And it doesn't need to be like some people's art, like there's this artist Dijon, I don't know if you know Dijon. Super good, super amazing. My friend works with him. He's his sound guy, and he's like, yeah, I wouldn't write a song that's not sexy. I'm like, that's awesome. That's his thing. That's like what he wants to express. But it like starts from this like emotional core. For me, I think there's a lot of like, I like a little bit of that like playfulness and mischievousness. Like, I think just being goofy and like silly is really fun. And then I also like metal and have a lot of like frustrations with the world. So it's like a lot of want to tap into those. Those are like the main things I like feel like tapping into when I'm doing work. And why I asked you if you had gotten into a fist fight. I think there's something fun about it, you know? It's like, I first got into a fist fight with the paintball kid that I was talking about earlier. And it like unlocked something in me. I was like a quiet kid. I didn't really do much. I was very quiet. Liked playing video games. And I remember one day he just like punched me in the face. And then I was like, oh shit. Literally rocked my world. I was like, that was a crazy experience. And then it like kind of like unlocked something where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna let this kid fuck with me. And then I beat the shit out of him. And then he became my best friend.
Wow.
And then we just like bonded via like tussling and sparring and like doing all that kind of stuff. And in a weird way, that was part of the reason I brought it up. Is like, that's always felt, maybe because I have a bigger brother, but it's like, that was always a thing that sort of like, I felt bonded people together.
Yeah. No, it definitely even beyond the physical stuff, like the people you're closest to are the people that have seen sort of your worst, most primal self, and they're still like, I'm still here. You're fine. I definitely relate to that. And yeah, I have an older brother, 3 years older than me. The worst fights I've ever gone into. Like I was throwing like pizza knives at his door. And shit.
Okay, don't do that.
No, none of that. Definitely
just
not. I had some problems. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah. I don't know why I went to a pizza knife before a punching. But
man, tone it down.
That was,
logical progression.
Yeah. But no. So yeah, I relate to that. But surprised. I don't know. I grew up. My dad is Canadian. My mom's Korean. My dad grew up always having like fist fights, played hockey, had a lot of injuries, kind of similar, like, well, he grew up in the West, and I grew up most of my life in Hong Kong, Korea, China, like growing up, in a culture, there's very, like, no one punches anyone there. No,
I was going to say,
there is no, so that culture has always been, just not part of my upbringing, and I found, by the time I came here when I was like 18, and by the time I came here, I don't know. I think part of me, you pointed it out. I definitely have some stuff to figure out because
you're 22, man. That's not that old.
Yeah. I think.
And also, my advice was to get into a fist fight. So I don't think I'm the again. I'm a guy on the internet. In a moment, I'm a guy in front of you right now. You don't have to listen to me. I have stupid takes all the time. And that's one of them. I do think the core of what I was trying to get at is like what we're trying to unlock with art is like those expressions of emotion. And so I kind of like tried to tap into moments I'm thinking about in life that are like profoundly emotional. You know, like how did you feel with your first kiss? I'm sure it was crazy. I'm sure it was awesome.
Yeah, I find I think. You pointed out that you don't have a huge block between you don't seem to care that much what people think about your expression. Would you resonate with that?
I mean, I definitely care what people think. I think everybody does.
Yeah.
I'm trying constantly to lessen the concern. I think when I'm making stuff, I'm in the comfort of my home, so I'm not concerned about how it's going to be received. Maybe once I put it out, I will be, and I see a bunch of comments like, hey, this is the worst art I've ever seen, whatever. But in the process of making it, I'm not really concerned about how people are going to perceive it. It's just like, I'm just going to make a thing and then go from there.
Do you feel like, in your character as a whole, do you feel you've always been like, because I don't. I feel like I always I think too much about the perception that happens before something, and like,
that's always a killer of creativity, honestly.
Yeah, that's where it all ties in, is that even before I think, what do I feel? I go, yeah, but that's been done before, or that's a story that's so, all these are just cliches. I don't want to tell that. And that's the best way to not start, is to be like, but my expression is just generic. Everyone's
you mentioned prophecy.
Yeah, you mentioned in the beginning when you were making music, it's just basically a copy of every other person you already liked, but that's fine.
That was a baby step towards learning to write music.
Yeah. And I think that's actually one of those, if we're gonna quantify the benefit of starting art early, I think just a big part that's unsaid is a child doesn't think about comparing themselves, which is where they get all that mileage of just being free. They
and
practice
imitating. We're fucking monkeys, dude. We're just like, I see somebody do something, you just copy it.
Yeah.
That's like, as a child, you just imitate. You just imitate what's around you, and you're not concerned about it. You just go. And so, I mean, everybody says it, but just try to be like a little kid, when you're drawing. Not saying don't practice to get better, but also equally important to practice tapping into how you're feeling about it. And I hate to sidebar, I have to pee so bad.
Oh yeah, shoot.
I have to pee
It seems like we all gotta pee.
I gotta pee real bad.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the recording stops there because we ended up going out and getting some pasta, and it was pretty good pasta, but the conversation did not continue. But you can continue the conversation over on his channel, where I joined him on a live stream to answer some of your guys' questions. So go check out his channel. Go check out his classes on Gumroad if you're serious about taking your art to the next level. Let me know if you like this video, and I'd be happy to do more conversations like this. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.